Is this Jake?
Yes. How's it going?
Good, good. How about yourself?
Yeah, man, I'm doing great. Just hanging out at home, and it's a really beautiful day here in Lancaster, Pennsylvania.
Ooh,
And yeah, I'm hanging out with my dog Winston. He's like my best friend, so we're just relaxing in the house at the moment.
nice,
How about
nice.
you?
I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay.
Awesome.
Yeah, for sure. All right, well, the first thing I want to ask you about is the new singles that you dropped, Bones and Defender. What has the songwriting process been like for these new songs? I hear that you guys have been able to collaborate musically more closely than you ever have before.
Yeah, yeah. Brent and Matt basically wrote the lyrics for this album, and it's been really. I mean, they're just really good lyricists. And so it's been really cool. I mean, Brent was definitely a big part in helping on this record with the lyrics and, vocal patterns and things like that. Dustin really got his hands dirty with a lot of the songwriting with JB. And Matt, Matt's a machine. So you kind of just let Matt, do his thing. But there's a lot of times where, I think it's understanding and recognizing that this is team effort, right? Teamwork, right? So,
Mhm.
it's not always going to be someone's one way or the highway type of thing. So, the fact that we're all flexible, and as year after year we become more and more flexible, more comfortable with each other's critiques and things like that. So it just makes a better product, in our opinion, when we can take all of our art and all of our gifts and really be accepting to change, right? And usually we come out with a better song that way. So we were like, hey, if this is how we need to operate or should operate to make better music, let's really go for it this time. And that's what we did.
Definitely. Yeah, I also have read that you guys were going for like an approach where it'll be easier to understand for listeners. Is it more like a less is more approach? Kind of cuz like you're kind of moving away from like the more proggy side of things, right?
Yeah, we definitely on this album kind of stepped a little further away from the proggy stuff, but I will say it's a heavy record.
Mhm.
It's like you're it's running like 90 miles per hour. So it's aggressive, but yeah, it's a little. I think it is a little toned down as far as the prog, but still carries the roots of ABR. And one of the things that I think that we always say, is like we don't want to write the same record. We
Yeah.
want to continue to grow, and so we're just going down a different path that we haven't necessarily gone down, but we're still carrying the same equipment on our backs. you
Yeah,
know.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, have you had any gear change up per se? As a vocalist, it might be, not your field, but
Yeah. No, I don't know much about the guitars because I try to stay out of the way when
yeah.
it comes to recording and getting the tones and all of that kind of thing. That's definitely more of a JB question or like a Carson Slovak, who's the engineer, one of the engineers that we work with for the production of this album. Vocally, it's just trying to grab the lyrics and give them a feeling. So there's on this record, I did a lot of stuff where maybe something sounds really breathy or gritty, or like I maybe kind of scream like kind of through my teeth at times to give like an aggressive feeling. Or so there's a lot of like little details within the songs to just kind of add or elevate the emotion. But as far as like a pedal or a certain type of tone, I do know that we're tuned differently for different songs to give them different feelings. There's a song called Bloodletter that's really, really heavy and kind of, for myself personally as a vocalist, needed to go to a heavy vocal and kind of try to get to like a darker, more aggressive, maybe more evil type of place to really match the sound. So that's a good example of the band, maybe tuning down, and me also having to change my vocal style to be able to execute and perform to my best abilities to deliver the best song, right? So things like that.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. The next thing I want to ask about is the music videos that you guys, well, the one that you put out for Defender. And I know that Brent is like a huge fan of comic books and like the comic style. And I want to know how much artistic input did you guys have on the music video?
Right. Actually, the directors and the producers and the team that we worked with to do this video, they came up with the concept.
Oh,
That wasn't ours. So basically, they sent us this concept and said, "Look, what do you guys think of this idea? To have all these superheroes, and you guys are the superheroes, and then you ultimately end up giving your superpowers to this young man, and he takes on evil and wins." And we're like, "Man, that's super cool." And obviously, Brent's like, "I'm in," So
yeah.
we kind of thought it would be fun and something different. We've never done anything like that before, like comic book theme. We thought it made obviously really good sense with I need a defender, like someone to defend me, protect me,
Hmm.
and it really came out really well. I mean, they basically just showed us everything. We're like, "Holy crap, this is legit comic book," like because when somebody's like, "Yeah, we're gonna make you into a comic book," it's like, "Oh, okay, well, like let's see where this really goes." But the product that they ended up getting us was just unbelievable. And we loved it. I think it's probably one of our favorite music videos to date, just because of how interesting and unique it is. And who doesn't want to see themselves as a superhero?
Oh, yeah,
Like, I mean, I
absolutely.
wish I looked remotely close to my superhero character in the music video because he's jacked out of his mind. Um, but it was just a cool time. It was a fun experience. We didn't really have to put a lot of effort and time as far as the band because obviously there's less of us in the video. But
Hmm.
it was a cool concept, unique video, turned out really, really well. And, the single Defender got a lot of great response. And I think that the video was definitely a big part of, helping present this new album, Guardians, to the world. So we're very thankful for those guys and all the hard work that they did, the team. I think it was a pretty good success.
Absolutely, absolutely. Next question I want to ask you about, since Vinylthon is coming up, April 18th, are you more of a consumer of like physical or digital media? I guess in terms of music, like do you collect CDs and tapes and vinyl records, or are you like mainly digital, or like a little bit of both?
Yeah, I don't have a Spotify account. I've never had a Spotify account. I guess it would make sense that I would as a musician, maybe, or maybe it wouldn't. I don't know. So I think it's like $10 a month, but I don't have a Spotify account. And I like to buy my albums on Apple iTunes. Just because I understand what it's like being an artist. I understand, that touring is one of the main ways to be financially secure and but there's just so many ways to get music and I would prefer to spend $10 support in Heart's Wake or Polaris or my peers and just to me it's a respect thing. I want to respect my peers, and so if they come out with a new piece of art and I want it, I'm gonna buy it, right? I'm gonna buy your album on iTunes. Now for the ones that I'm a fanboy of or whatever, I'll buy the vinyl. Yeah, or some limited package of some sort. And that's just for me. It's very rare. I'm not like a vinyl head,
Hmm.
but if there's a band that I really respect or that I really appreciate, or the record really really touched me in a way, then I'll buy it. Buy
Yeah,
a vinyl.
absolutely, absolutely. Next thing I want to ask you about is the tour that you were supposed to have with Killswitch and Light the Torch, and I know that you've had
Mm-hmm.
to postpone those dates. How has like the coronavirus and the all the health concerns that come with it affect you as a musician?
Sure. Well, I mean, it's never fun to cancel a tour. We've never had to cancel a tour.
Hmm.
But, I think right now what the world needs is, acts of selflessness. We have to really just be more concerned about the people around us rather than ourselves. And I'm speaking to, the healthy young people. Just that, the world's in a tight bind. And so, I think, I mean, obviously we wanted to tour. We love our fans. We're releasing a new record April 3rd. It's like, like obviously the coronavirus is not helpful to any of our, desires, but
Hmm.
at the same time, people are more important, right, than money or fans or touring or
Yeah,
CD
absolutely.
releases. So obviously we needed to cancel and postpone it, which is great. Killswitch Engage, those guys didn't want to stop the tour either, and they're like, look, this tour is going to be a banger. We really have enjoyed our time with you guys, even though it's been brief. Let's reschedule this thing. And of course, ABR was like, yeah, like that's not even a question, right? So
Hmm.
so now we're home. I'm gonna go and just be with my neighbors and see if I can do anything to help them. A lot of my neighbors in my area are older people, so I'm
Hmm.
gonna see about maybe just going getting groceries or something like that.
Hmm.
I'm with my dog. He's the man. I love him. He's he's great to wake up next to. A little French bulldog. So we're just gonna hang out in the yard. It's nice and sunny out here, and I think there's a lot of fear. There's a lot of anxiety, a lot of stress in the air. But I think that if we just focus and try to make rational decisions and logical ones, we'll all be in a really good place. So I'm not too concerned, and I think that our government, even though some people may be a little upset with the decisions that they're making, it's like, hey, look, let's just have faith that they're taking the right precautions and making the right decisions, and just submitting to that and helping your neighbor, and just looking out for each other. I think is really what we should be doing.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. While you have time off from touring, are there any like musician range things that you're going to be focusing on? Like now that you have all this time, are you going to be focusing more on songwriting or more on like I don't know, extra time to like practice vocally or anything of that nature?
I think that we'll probably be practicing at home, all of us individually,
Hmm.
depending on what we need to practice on. But it's also for us, we want to try to take whatever is handed to us to make the best out of it. So for a lot of these guys, they're going home to their families,
Hmm.
with their wives and their children, and so they're probably their main focus is like, hey, this is time that I usually do not have with my family. So I'm just going to spend a lot of the time with them and make memories and, love them. So yes, we will probably be doing some, rehearsing and practice individually, but most of us will probably just try to soak up this time home with our loved ones because of the situation, but also because we know, half the year we're gone from them. So, you know
Hmm.
what I mean?
Absolutely. Well, I don't have a whole lot left, so I'm going to leave you with one last question. Since I'm interviewing from WXAV, a college radio station out of Chicago, how has college radio impacted you or your career?
Well, it's definitely impacted our career, especially when a lot of our guys were the age of going to college and everything. It's cool. I personally appreciate college radio because it's kind of like this underground thing. It's a great way for us still to stay connected musically to our younger fans, and we're thankful for anyone who is willing to press play, on one of our tracks. I mean, that's just it's my dream, man. It's been my dream since I was 16 years old, and I get to live it because of people like you. So I'm appreciative.
Of course, of course. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate you calling in and doing the interview. I hope to run into you soon.
Sounds good, man. Have a good day. Thanks, brother.
You too, of course. Bye.
Bye.